Hey guys, John Engel here. I want to tell you all thank you so much for the comments that you leave me on all my videos. There seem to be two questions that you guys want answered. The first is, what do I have in my garage? The second is, what do I do? Well, I'm going to answer both of those, but this video is all about what I have in the garage. So, what do I have in my garage? That's a very good question, and it's one that I get quite often. So sit back, relax, and enjoy, because I've got my book and I've got a list for you. I'm going to give you an idea of what's in my garage and also why I have each one of them. So the list can go on and on for a little bit, but you'll see what I mean. Let's start with the collection of three that I have. I've got a 1996 Mustang Cobra, I've got a 1997 Salinas Mustang S281, and I've got a 2010 Shelby GT500. Kind of all go into the same family of Mustangs, so I thought I would talk about those first. The most basic of them is my 96. It's a stock Cobra that I got in high school, and it has kind of stayed in the family because my dad absolutely loves it. It doesn't have too much horsepower, so I don't worry about him killing himself in it. It's really loud and obnoxious, and he gets a kick out of it and thinks it's awesome. So it goes from me to him to me to him, and right now I still own the car, but he was talking about it and I kind of tossed him the keys and said, why don't you use it for a while? So if you see him around town, beep at him. It's a black 96 Cobra convertible. Then I have my 97 Salinas 281. It is an absolutely beautiful car. It's white on white with a black interior. Always wanted one of these since I was a kid. I really wanted the 351, but the prices were just a little bit high. The really neat thing about this car is it's one of 5. So in 1997, they only produced 5 automatics, and this happens to be one of them. So whether that will help it in the long run or not, who's to say, but it is kind of neat to have one of the only 5 of them. The last one on my Mustang list is the 2010 GT500. I bought this from a local friend of mine who takes absolute immaculate care of his cars. One of the reasons why I bought it, I got it from him with about 14,000, 15,000 miles on it. It still has low miles on it, so haven't really driven it a whole lot. But the really cool thing about this one is he modified it. So he sent it to a shop over in Atlanta. They put a supercharger on it, new fuel system. They did exhaust, and there's coilovers. The car is absolutely set up perfectly. Had to have it. It's somewhere around 750 at the wheels, which puts it close to 900 at the engine. I'm not exactly sure because most of the time I try to stay out of it, but it's still one of those cars that when I give it gas, it makes my belly kind of tingle and makes me happy. So I definitely want to hold on to that one for a little bit longer. One of my pride and joy cars that I have is my 97 Viper. I've owned 3 Vipers, and some of them have been better than others. I owned a Gen 1 RT10 that had no windows, no AC. You just drove the car on nice days. Then I did move up to a 98 GTS, which I absolutely love, but it was red and kind of plain. The one that I currently have is a 97 blue and white that is immaculate. I absolutely love the car. For the most part, it's bone stock. It's got HRE wheels, some Corsa exhaust, a short throw shifter, but for the most part, I could put her right back to stock if I ever needed to. It's got about 17,000 miles on it, but the thing that blows me away is the design and style of this car. I fell in love with it. Even when I look at it now, the design is timeless. Next on my list is my 93 Acura NSX, which out of all of the cars I own has appreciated more than any other. So it was a great value at the time. It's now worth a whole lot more. But the car itself is absolutely wonderful. It's one of those that you just start up, drive, you don't worry about maintenance too much. It's got Honda reliability. It still looks awesome. It does look a little dated now, but when you think about an NSX, this is what you think about. You don't think about the new 2017 or 18 NSX. In fact, I think they really missed the mark on that one, which kind of hurt a little bit. Definitely helps with my car and the appreciation of it. The car that has been in my garage the longest is a 1930 Model A. It actually belonged to my dad, and he bought it when I was 3 years old. And my father is not what you would call a car guy, but at the time he decided that it was going to be a good idea to buy this car, dismantle it, and try to put it back together. So I have vivid memories of sitting in this car when it was totally disassembled. Now, he did get it all apart, but he didn't quite get it back together. So he outsourced it, took it to a person who kind of put it back together. And to be honest, this car has really held up well over time. In fact, soon it's going to be 100 years old, and it's just kind of really cool to have something from that period. It's everything you don't want in a car for the most part. It goes around 35 miles an hour. You actually have to double clutch in this car.
Granny shifting, not double clutching like you should.
I know, something you never thought that you would actually hear unless you're in a Fast and Furious movie, which made no sense then, but this one you actually do. So it's not the best for driving. It looks really cool. We've had it in a couple weddings, so it's really nice to be able to use it for that. But right now she sits in a corner and kind of holds up a little bit of history in my garage. Next on the list is my 2001 Jaguar XKR. Now, even though I have a garage full of cars, I have to have one that I can just hop in and go. This is my daily driver. I use it 90% of the time, doesn't matter if it's raining or not. It is such a good driving car. The one thing that I love about it is it has about the performance of a C5 Corvette. It is a supercharged V8, so she can get up and go. It's got seats that are like couches. It's really nicely done. Just a great car for everyday driving. I absolutely love it. The next two cars on my list kind of make me a little sad right now. One of them, I recently had a little accident and put it into a wall, and you guys will hear about that later. There's a video coming on it, so stay tuned for that. Doesn't make me happy, but whatever. And that one is my 2010 Toyota stock car. It was driven by Casey Kane and Jason Left Turn. He has passed away, so the car has a little bit of heritage to it, a little history, which makes it even more sad that I did put it into a wall. But that's part of owning these things and playing with them, and, well, just part of it, and still makes me sad. So, moment of silence. My next one makes me extremely happy. This is my 1997 Indy Car. It was driven by Jeff Ward back in '97, who at the Indianapolis 500 got Rookie of the Year. Lots of history to it. This car is kind of neat. It has been decommissioned, meaning it doesn't have any of the electronics. However, it still has all of the running gear, so it still has the original Oldsmobile Aurora V8 that was used at the time. Just a awesome piece of history. Always wanted an open wheel car, so this one kind of fits the slot. Next is my 2000 Plymouth Prowler. I absolutely love the car. As you guys can tell, I really am one for aesthetics. I like design. I like the way that it looks. That kind of gives me the feeling of what the car's supposed to be about. Now, I agree with you all. It should have had a small V8 in it. They should have equipped that with a manual transmission if you wanted it. They missed the mark on it, but the design, it hit the mark for me especially. I've always wanted a 30 Roadster. This was my way of being able to afford one that actually was reliable, had all of the creature comforts that a modern car had, but still the styling of the old one. So for me, it's one of those that I love to drive. It gets a lot of attention. You either love it or you hate it, but for me, I love it. One of the vehicles in my collection that really doesn't get the attention or admiration that it deserves is my F-250. I use this for everything. It could be for towing cars, pulling stumps, taking trash out. The truck really does it all, and that's kind of what it was designed for. She's not pretty. She's got scratches and dents and dings, and it's a work truck, so don't expect any frills from it. But it still runs. It's a 2000. It has AC. I have had some issues with this one. Now, this is the turbo diesel, so it's supposed to be bulletproof and everything like that. Knock on wood, I haven't had any issues with the engine itself. Everything around the engine, yeah, I've pretty much replaced by this point. So you're probably going to see this one stick around because I have sunk so much money into it. I kind of have to keep it now. In the garage, I have 3 motorcycles. Well, really 2 1/4. The first one I have is a Triumph Daytona 600. It's a beautiful bike and I absolutely love it. It does need a little work right now. The clutch went out on it. So that's something that I've got on the list and priorities of things to do. Not really looking forward to it, but we'll get it taken care of. The next is an awesome little Honda CB 125. This is a great track bike, meaning when we go to the track to do any racing, you can use it around, putt around, and it takes you from point A to point B pretty easily. It's a cute little bike that I've got some ideas for. I might actually use it for a bar, but stay tuned. We'll figure that one out as they come. And then, of course, I've got the quarter of a motorcycle, which is my moped. And it's actually my favorite one to ride. I use it all the time. It's got a sticker on the back that says my other car's a Bentley, and no one absolutely believes that. But it's really funny. So if you see me around town on this black little moped, please don't beep. I get scared. I don't want to wreck. I'm going to talk about these two together. I've got the Bentley Continental GT and then my Ferrari F430. Both of those stay upstairs in the main garage, and they really don't get used as much as they should either. Absolutely love both of them. The Bentley actually gets used more than any of the other exotic cars, I guess. But the Ferrari really does stay in the garage most of the time. You wait for either car shows or whatnot to be able to take it out. Love both of them. I'm going to put up a picture that Jason Berry took of the F430. He does an absolutely phenomenal job. I'll make sure to put his contact information below, just in case you're looking for someone to either take photos of your cars or really take photos of anything that you need. But make sure you hit him up. The very last car on the list is the one that you guys actually saw me buy. It's my Miata. Yes, she's still here and I still use her. It's been a little rainy lately, so I've been using the Jag a little bit more, but I absolutely love the car. It's one of those that I think that we'll appreciate with time, so stick around and see how she does. Well, that's a quick overview of what's in my garage. I hope that you've enjoyed this, and we'll also keep you updated on what cars I buy, what cars I sell, maintenance, repairs, what it's like to house all of these crazy vehicles. So, if you've liked my video, please hit the like button below. If you'd like, leave me some comments. I care about what you want to see, and I also cater these videos to it. So, also stay tuned because I'm going to answer the second part, what I do for a living. I know that I've had some crazy expectations. Hopefully I live up to it. So, make sure you subscribe, hit the like button below, leave me comments, and we'll catch you next time.